All right, guys. So it's about 6 a.m. Okay. And believe it or not, I've been up since like 4. And I'm about to put on some makeup and shoot some videos. And in the meantime, I was like, you know what? I need to share this situation with you guys. So, as you guys know, well, you might not know. So, let me just tell you for 19 years, I lived in my family home. Started out in the family home, taking care of my dad. And then my dad passed away 5 years ago. I stayed a little while longer. And recently, in September of this year, I moved out onto my own. And so I'm out of practice, right? I didn't, first time putting together my own kitchen in 20 years and cooking. And it's lots of new stuff out there. Like there was no Instapot 20 years ago, right? And so I'm learning how to cook with the Instapot and the air fryer and all this kind of stuff. So get my cooking skills back up because, my sisters used to do all the cooking, girl. I was working, I wasn't cooking. So here I am trying to get this domestic side of my life together. And yesterday I decided to make chili. So now chili is really important, okay? And I'm going to tie this all together, so listen to the story. Chili is really important to me because it was the only food that I could consistently digest for months. And it didn't matter if it was turkey chili, beef chili, white chili, whatever. It was the food early on because I had gastric bypass surgery and I had lots of problems digesting lots of different things because I had complications from the surgery. Okay. So chili was the one thing I could consistently digest. So I decided to learn to cook my own chili to manage the sodium intake, and the ingredients. Okay. So I decided to tackle cooking chili. So I went to Instapot, looked at their recipes, read a few recipes online, and then decided, okay, here's how I'm going to customize it for what I need. So I cooked the chili in the Instapot, followed the instructions, and the next morning, because I cooked it overnight, it turned out great, right? The flavor was good, but the color was a little weird, right? It was this little weird brown, and the flavor was good, though. And so I had to tweak it a little bit because the beans were hard and I had to change the settings on the Instapot to finish softening the beans and all of that kind of stuff. So I finally got it out, but I couldn't figure out why I had this weird color. So I reached out to some friend of mine that are cooks, and I was like, what's going on? They were like, what color beans did you use? I was like, well, I used a mixture of beans. They were like, okay, kidney beans give it the red color. I was like, but it's watery, right? And they were like, did you use tomato paste? I was like, oh, the recipe did say something about tomatoes and tomato paste, but I just felt like I didn't really need that part. Like, it wasn't that deep. Like, and I don't like tomatoes like that. Okay. So I was like, well, let me try this. I called Instacart. They delivered some tomato paste, and it was an itty bitty can about this big, right? And then I decided I wanted a chunkier chili. So I browned more ground turkey, put that in there, right? And then I and that made it chunkier. So that helped with the consistency a little bit. But I added in that little bitty can of tomato paste. Boom, the consistency changed. Boom, the color changed. Boom, the flavor popped. It was one ingredient that I forgot. And it really wasn't that I forgot. I skipped it. I was like, I ain't got no tomato paste. It ain't gonna be that deep. I'll just cook it, right? Listen, that's what we do when we're building our brand, right? We look around at other people, like, because I looked at the other recipes. We look around at other people and we see what everybody's doing. And then we decide, okay, this is what I want my brand to look, feel, and operate like. Okay, so we do a hodgepodge. Okay. But then we skip pieces of the recipe because we think they're not necessary because we don't understand what that specific ingredient is going to do for the brand. So we decide to skip it. Okay? And when you decide to skip it, it's the one thing that makes all the difference. Then you go back and try to add it later. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Lucky for me, adding the tomato paste and the extra meat gave me exactly what I was looking for. But sometimes with recipes, it doesn't work that way. Sometimes we got to chunk the whole pot and start over again. Okay? So I wanted to give you that valuable lesson. Don't skip the steps. In this brand candy membership, I'm going to give you step by step by step to really build your brand. Okay? So follow the freaking steps. Don't skip a step because you don't understand the importance of it. It'll all make sense later when your chili turns out the way you want it to. All right, join me tomorrow, guys. So tomorrow we're going to have, I'm going to teach a legends, and that's going to be, I'm going to specifically teach about photos. You guys were asking about the different types of photos. So I'm going to teach you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time about the different types of photos that you need in your brand and how to use them. This is another ingredient, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Mwah.